Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm going to be talking about distraction and celebration and how they really kind of were tied together for me this week. I've had one of those weeks. I didn't sleep well Sunday night, and then my Monday started with the news that my grandmother was in the hospital. At first, it sounded really bad, but thankfully she is now recovering at home. But then later that same day, I received unexpected news from my job where I've been on temporary layoff for the last 3 months, and that situation is still kind of pending. So I've been a bit distracted, getting some business stuff done, but not everything that I wanted to do. Can you relate? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you've had some sort of those days or weeks. Everything around us feels uncertain right now. Although, let's be real, life in general is never certain, but the veil has certainly been lifted to make that more clear in the last several months. So distraction seems like an inevitability, something we should plan for. This way, we get to decide in advance how we will show up when it does. Before I get further into my own content for today, I want to mention a great resource that I found. I just listened to episode 28 of the OutSpoken Girlfriend podcast by Naomi Clark. The title was Stress. Make it your teacher, not your burden. And I found it really helpful. So I will link that in the notes below this video. All right, back to what I learned this week. So in the epic transformational coaching calls with Dr. Shannon Irvin that I participate in, lately we have been talking about the importance of celebration for our brain. Your brain loves the reward of dopamine, the dopamine chemical that's released when you celebrate. Building in this positive reinforcement every day is vital, especially when you're trying to do something new or build momentum on something. As a high-level overview, Dr. Shannon teaches that we should list 3 tasks that we want to get done in any given day, no more than 30 to 60 minutes each. Really, break them down into small, bite-sized, items. And when those 3 are done, you celebrate. But especially at the start of this week, I was struggling to get 1 done, let alone all 3. I was finding too many other things to spend my time on instead, and I was getting really down on myself for not completing my task list for the day. So I started to get curious about what was going on, and I realized a few things. 1, I still get to practice being more gentle with myself. See my video about leaning into new rhythms from April 25th for my earlier thoughts on this. But sometimes things can wait another day or 2, and I can give myself the grace I need to work through the challenges I'm facing. I am human, not a machine, and that's a beautiful thing. The second thing I realized is that sometimes I write 3 things in the morning, and then other things come up that need to be prioritized. It's not shameful to be adaptable, and I can still celebrate getting 3 things done, even if they aren't the original 3. And another thing I realized is that those 3 things don't always need to be business related. While that certainly might be my preference most of the time, there are times in life that other things may come up, and that's okay. And 4th, I realized that the best way to serve my clients is to realize that I am human and tune into what I need. And then I can help them do the same in their own life. Another thing that I get to practice is finding ways to build celebration into my everyday. This is a practice that I'm still, working on establishing in my own life. I know the brain science behind why it's important, but it's not something that I naturally have done. So I'm still getting to practice it. To be most effective, these things need to be things that I only do once I've completed the tasks for the day. So not something that I would normally be doing otherwise, but also still really small and achievable, something that might not, cost a lot of money or take a lot of effort in order to establish these practices. So here are some ideas that I came up with. Go look in the mirror or even turn on my phone camera and tell myself good job or some other positive affirmation. Maybe you laugh, but how often do you say nice things to yourself rather than harsh? Yeah, I'm still growing there too. Another idea is to walk outside barefoot for 5 minutes in the grass. One, I love that sensation of grass on my feet. And this is also a wonderful grounding exercise to just really help you be present in the moment, and really feel connected to the world around you. So it's a double win. Another idea, go somewhere other than the place where I normally, set up to work and play music for 10 minutes. So I'm removing myself from my normal environment, seeing something a little bit different, maybe a different room in the house, and just playing music for 10 minutes. It can be energizing dance music or relaxing classical music or whatever else fits the way I feel for the day, but that's still just giving myself a reward for completing 3 tasks. Another idea is to take a 15-minute break to read something I enjoy. This can actually breathe fresh life into a project if I'm, stuck too. Trying to beat my brain into submission doesn't go well for me. Yeah, ask me how well that went when I was trying to decide on the topic for this video this week. The last idea that I came up with quickly was to make myself a cup of peppermint tea and just meditate a few minutes while enjoying it. Just really kind of tune into my body, tune into the way I'm feeling, really stop and listen to God, and just take, just those few minutes of enjoying that cup of peppermint tea. Here's the thing. We don't need to punish ourselves for being distracted. It's normal. Things come up and life happens. But we can decide in advance how we will be when it does. Will I be annoyed with myself, or will I be gentle with myself and inquire what I need? Which way of being is going to serve me better in the long run? I also don't need to wait until I do all the things perfectly to celebrate. In fact, the more I prioritize positive reinforcement, the more motivated I will be to get things done and be even less distracted. So if you're struggling with your own distraction and want help just getting curious about ways to show up differently, I would love to support you. I am actually great at seeing what is coming up for my clients, where they can be more gentle with themselves that they maybe don't even realize, and where they can institute practices like celebration to reinforce the positive habits they're trying to build. If this is something you'd like, help and support with, just click the link in my bio and you can book a free 20-minute call on my calendar. I only do 3 of these a week, so don't wait and go ahead and get that booked. But, just really start to think about ways that you're getting distracted and ways that you can start being a little more gentle with yourself when it happens. And also, I challenge you to find a couple really small ways that you can celebrate every single day when you get just those 3 tasks done, whether they're business related, whether they're personal, whatever, are your goals for the day. But 3 small tasks done, and then just find a way to celebrate that is meaningful to you and that really will, help you build in the brain habits that will help you keep motivated as you, continue on your journey. That's all I have for you today. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.